Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. Presented by Carolina Lightweights. Come grip with us. When the action begins in the studio, our referees for tonight's event are Elgato Azul and Carolina Real Streamers. For the viewers in attendance and Facebook and YouTube users around the world, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. Live from the Elgato Azul TV studio in Louisville, Texas, it's time! What's up, slime lovers? I'm your host, Chris, a.k.a. Elgato Azul. A partner in slime, Mr. Jamie Dunn.
What's
good,
up? What's
buddy?
up? How you doing, brother?
Man,
we doing good. We survived the storms today. Got a couple of limbs down. That's about it. But other than that, man, looking forward to tonight's show.
Man, it's been windy for 3 days straight. We had a tornado hit 2 nights ago. F4. Kind of one of those that touch down and then touch down, go back up, touchdown.
Man,
ripped a bunch of roofs off, destroyed some warehouse type loading facilities. It missed us, so
man, thank the good Lord. Hope everybody's okay. I know we've been avoiding all these wildfires that's been around here. Just a lot of smoke and stuff, but thank the good Lord we got a little bit of rain today to help us out. Yeah.
Saw that on the news.
That's it, man. So lucky we got some rain.
And we had a huge dust storm hit yesterday. Apocalyptic looking dust storm.
Man.
Dude, the sky just got dark, red, dark. It's like we were out in West Texas, but it blew through. You could feel it on your teeth and it's getting in your eyes. My buddy out west said, man, I can smell the cow shit in this sand.
That is crazy, bro. We don't get to see none of those, but thank you, good Lord.
Yes, a tornado one day, sandstorm the next. We had power out yesterday. We had another storm blow through in the middle of the night last night, knocked the power out again. So 2 days without power. It is what it is. Hopefully, we did get a ½ inch of rain. I'm hoping that'll help my fishing. I noticed some guys were posting pics of the marina that's on the opposite side of my lake, and the break wall came uncabled, untethered, and destroyed a whole row of boats and sank them. The dock just freaking destroyed it, man. So,
that is crazy, man. I hope everybody's okay. And
I didn't hear of any injuries, but I was without internet, TV, nothing for 2 days with no power, so I didn't get to really see. Our cell service was even knocked out, so I guess the cell towers didn't have power or something.
Yeah.
But when I went to lunch yesterday, I finally got cell service when I left my little area and started getting updates, and people were on Facebook are like, "Are you all right?" I'm like, "Damn, I guess y'all knew about." I didn't even know we had a tornado. I just thought it was one of our Texas windy storms. So,
oh man, looks like we got a good crowd coming in tonight, man.
We got Walt McCorkle, our Operation Vets with Nets teammate. Welcome in, Walt. Owen Coke. I'm going to call him Owen Coke. Met Owen, got to shake Owen's hand at CatCon. Welcome in, Owen. Hooked on Kermit. Welcome in, Kermit. Catfish Junkie, welcome. Eagle Eyes Juan Tienda, welcome. Looks like they had some fun fishing on Saturday.
Yeah, I saw that, man.
Didn't see any tournament stuff from Sunday, so I guess I was out of it. I didn't see anything though.
Tom, LG Bass, welcome in, Tom Cat. Trent Hall, me and Trent, we went fishing, and I had to put my head in the sand for a few days because we did terrible. That's the worst trip I've had since October. I got to say this. I've had great trips, every trip, all winter. It's been a huge blessing. So, I was due. I was way overdue for a bad trip. Just really sucks that I had to have it when I had two of my buddies on the boat,
Yeah.
We were on a huge pile of fish. They just wouldn't bite. We dodged we were up at the inlet. There were over 1,000 jugs at the inlet in about 100-acre area. There was over 1,000 jugs. It was insane. I've never seen anything like that.
Man, that's wild.
We got hung on probably 10 jugs. All of them were out of date, illegal. I'd like to get the regulations changed if it was up to me. Speaking with one of my guide buddies today, and he's like, what do you think they could do? I said, what if they put a reward for lost jugs or out-of-date jugs, and they find the guys whose jug it is, because you got to put your tag number on the jug. You take the money that you're collecting in fines, and you pay the guys who are out there reporting the lost and illegal jugs.
I guarantee you, man, if they do it that way, Chris, that would come to a stop quick.
Immediately.
Yeah.
And also, we got 100. I know jugs, it's the traditional way of fishing. Traditional way of catfishing. So that's why they're trying to hold on to the tradition of it. But man, they allow you to have 100 hooks. That's 100 jugs. So we were seeing a string 100 jugs long, stretched all the way across the inlet for a mile. One string. And then another 7,500 yards up would be another string of 100. And it was just freaking over 1,000 of them, probably 1,500 if you counted every damn one of them. It was not cool, man. And I don't complain much, but I'm a freaking complain about that because they shouldn't be allowed to impede us from fishing.
Yeah.
I don't mind them using jugs. I don't like that they don't watch them. We only saw one guy running jugs out of over 1,000 jugs. There was one guy running jugs. So those jugs that were 3 or 4 days old that were out of tags, out of date, man, how many fish swim off, in 3 days? You need to watch your stuff, guys. So try to do better.
I see where a comment, Lewis Park said they would quit tagging them. So
yeah. Well, then you just you get Operation Game Thief, and you get up there and you bust those guys. And you know what you do when you bust one? You take their vehicle, you take their boat, you take all their equipment. Problem solved. How many guys are going to allow all their stuff to be taken from them to go catch a few fish? I mean, and it ain't a few. I mean, if you got a 3-man boat and you're putting out 300 jugs, I'm sorry. That's just not cool, man.
And that's just like us, with the trout lines around here. I mean, it's just crazy at the trout lines that's, untended or, just hooks pure rusted on them. It's so old. Lines.
I've seen that a lot, man. We'll see a jug that's there's no other jug around and it's got fish on. I'll go run it and the damn fish has got a rotted hole out. It just barely in there. So I know a lot of them do get away, but I mean the damage is. I've caught a lot of fish with just a ripped out jaw, and I'm best guess is it come off of a jug line, or trot line, but
that definitely gets underneath my skin. But until they change the laws or do something,
I don't know how we get them changed. Anybody that is with the Parks Department, Parks and Wildlife, if they went up there to that inlet and saw what was going on up there, they would immediately say something's got to be. This is just not right.
Yeah,
I would even be fine with putting like you know, like they do for alligator gar. They give a season where you can't actually like harvest them in some areas because it's time for them to spawn. So I would think if you put like a season of, you can't use them pre-spawn, and that would be when they all run up through that inlet. We would have 100-pound fish in Texas again. So,
man, yeah, I see a lot of comments. People saying finding jugs, no names, no numbers. I mean, just all kind. And that's the same thing here with bush hooks.
That's typical.
Yeah,
so the jugs we pulled up, they were labeled 1 through 100. You know, they put a 1, 2, 3, all the way to 100, and they had all their dates crossed out except for the date that they were out of date. And their weights that they were using were beer cans poured full of concrete. That's their freaking weight. Just a piece of trash with a bleach bottle. The jug was a bleach bottle. Just how many of those float off? I mean, just trashes out the lake. But let's keep running through here. I got sidetracked just because it was, man, it was brutal this weekend. I've never seen anything like it, guys. It was crazy. So moving on down. Oh, I got off on a tangent because I was with Trent when we were up there. It was the topic of discussion for the day. Dan Martin, what's up, buddy? Bernie McBride, welcome in. Average Joe Catfishing, what's up, everyone? Dan Martin says it's rain in PA, huge ice melt. We need more rain, but we'll take what we got. We got supposed to be a cold front hitting Saturday and rain all day, but not a ton of accumulation, about a quarter to a half inch. So we'll take it. We need it. Donate Life Catfishing. What's up, y'all? Stay safe. Daniel 45, Oklahoma Weather Wonder off again. Oklahoma gets crazy weather. Michael Spivey says, howdy, everyone. He's been down there laying waste to Lake Tawakoni. Y'all need a cast net. Michael Spivey's got it. He's selling them now. He's got tape nets. I think they run out of stock just like everybody's now, but tape net, good for catching shad. I think he's half inch, or I don't know. I saw he made a post. He was trying to see what guys wanted. I use a 5/8 mesh. I think they're 1 pound per foot taped. So Joe Baker, what's up, bro? Joshua McPherson, lots on Tawakoni, got messed up a couple sunk.
Man.
Matthew Mosley, what's up, everyone? Matt caught a tank at the Twisted Cats tournament Saturday.
Yeah, I tell you, man, that was a nice fish, brother.
Smoking giant. When I saw the picture, I thought, oh, that might get you in the money. He said they caught 3 fish all day. If you're going to get 3, that's a damn good one to add to the bag.
Yeah, it is.
60, I don't remember, high 60. Lewis Parker, what's up, guys? Southern Streams, what's up, everyone? Slime time, baby. Slow day on tourney day. Nothing to brag about. That's what Juan said. Tub and tackles in the house. Smoking on fire, baby. Marvin Berry. 8 vets fishing out the Buncombe Creek tomorrow. Well, I haven't paid a whole lot of attention what the weather is this week, but I know big cold front's hitting Saturday. Tomorrow's probably the day to go. Pre-front. You're probably going to have a good day if the fish are there.
Yep.
Ben and Tips Catfishing. Good evening, everyone. How y'all feeling, Jamie?
What's up, brother? We're doing good, man. Doing good. Thank you. Appreciate you, brother.
Alex, Texas Fishing. What's up, y'all? Joe Baker says it's Trent Hall's fault we didn't do good. I blamed it on Vess. Vess is my last 2 trips I fished. Now, I don't even know why we did poorly Saturday. The fish were there. We did have a couple wind changes. So, I mean, I didn't really pay attention to the moon or the pressure. I don't pay a whole lot of attention to that. I do know when I typically do bad, it's barometric pressure oriented. I didn't check it. I don't even care. We're past it. We caught some fish. We lost some really good fish. Trent, I had my brand new reel that I strung up. It had our biggest fish on, but I didn't have the drag right because it was fresh out of the freaking box and it just was stripping it.
Man.
Trent didn't get the hook buried in it. It's my fault. I didn't have the drag set right. So we lost that fish, but Chris's boat, Chris's fault, Trent said. Well, Trent lost the biggest fish and it bit the bait clean in half. Come off the reel. I'm going to say, yeah, that one was my fault. I didn't have the drag set right. But we also hooked into 4 other good ones and we lost all of them too. So, we marked a lot of fish. There were a lot of carp up there, a lot of gar. I noticed when we would see the catfish, they were real broken up looking. So I know they were buried in the mud, but even when they're buried in the mud, I can generally catch, a few, but
we all have them days every now and then, brother.
I got guys coming into town to fish with me for the next 3 weekends. And I mean, they're driving in from Nebraska, Virginia. I need to freaking produce. I better get my act together.
Well, I tell you what, man, as soon as we get
pressure is on.
As soon as we get that boat back, probably next week, we're gonna start lighting them up here real soon.
Well, it's not unlike trot lines around there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michael Cox, what's up, bro? Says, hey, everyone. Marvin says he finds a lot of jugs with no name, no number. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people don't care. They don't give a crap. A lot of people lose those jugs. I think some people just put them out and don't even ever come back for them.
A lot of people probably does that, Chris. Don't even know how many they even put out.
Yeah. Well, when we were looking up there, my buddies are like, man, how on earth could you possibly keep up with your jugs out here? Especially if you put them out 3 days ago. It's not possible to keep up with 100 jugs. It's not with what we were witnessing. It was crazy. Marvin Berry says 20 per person is legal, no more. If it were up to me, I'd outlaw the damn thing just because I don't like seeing them floating around in the in all the coves. And they give you anywhere from a $25 to $500 fine for trash blowing out of the back of your truck. Well, losing a jug in my mind is no different than if you're driving down the highway and your highway patrolman's behind you in your pickup truck and you're losing trash out the back. He's going to pull your ass over. You're getting a ticket, Lost jugs should be ticketed just to get it under control because guys don't care if they lose them.
Yep.
That's why they make them out of bleach bottles and beer cans because they're not out any money.
That's just like Joseph said with finding like pool noodles with no body around in sight, no names, no nothing on them.
Tubb says he runs through the middle of the spread on High Rock when he sees them put out. Just put out. If I'm running the lake, and I'm courteous, but as far as jugs, I just see those guys like putting them right where nobody can fish and taking over the entire inlet. I will blow through the whole string just off to the side of it, just because I know the big motor spooks the fish, at least for a little while. I'll spook them off their line. I'm not afraid to admit it. Chris Garcia, I'm going this weekend, buddy. I got friends coming in town to fish. We're going to fish Sunday. I was going to fish Saturday and Sunday. It looks like rain, big front and rain Saturday. So probably not a great day to fish. That lake gets roaring when there's wind. So Cookie's Outdoor coming in town to fish. That's who I'm fishing with this weekend. So hopefully we can get on some monsters. Even Fish God 903 says even the Texoma fishing report is talking about the amount of jugs at the inlet. Needs to be something done. And maybe with such an issue up there, maybe that can be the model for regulations change. You know, when you see that it's happening there, it doesn't get better unless you do something about it. It's going to get worse.
So, Chris, y'all have no regulations on how far out the main channels these jugs or any of this stuff has to?
No. You can have 100 hooks. There's the regulation. I can have 100 rods in the water if I want. I can have 50 rods with 2 hooks on each line.
Yep.
I can have a trot line with 100 hooks. I can have 3 trot lines with 33 hooks. It's however you want. 100 hooks.
No matter the runaway or right-of-ways or none of that.
Nothing. Now, if you're in some type of, a boating lane or something like around a marina, I'm sure you can't do that. But
yeah,
all I know is it messes up my fishing quite often.
Yeah.
This time of year. Now, most of the time of year, I can just move away from them. It's not an issue. I don't have a problem with them until it's March, April, beginning of May. It's brutal. Can't even fish the way I want to fish because they've got the entire inlet covered. It's like a minefield, dude.
Man.
Chris Garcia says, jugs, period. Get out. Marvin says, send pictures to Parks. I bet they will ignore
it. And that's, I hate to say it, Chris, they probably would, man. They probably would.
I know a lot of guys on the rules change committee, and some of them get on there because they actually run jugs during their guide trips. They do it because certain people want to go fishing, but then at the end of the day, they want to run jugs to get it's a money thing. So, what happened on Texoma? We got our asses kicked, bro. We got dinks. We hooked 5 good fish. One of them, which was really good. I didn't have the drag set on my new reel, so Trent couldn't get the hook buried in it, and it came unbuttoned, gone. He got it about halfway to the boat. He started fooling with the reel, saying, something wrong with this reel. Oh, man. Sound like my son when I put a new reel on the boat. What's wrong with this reel, Dad? Piece of
man. And
Marvin Berry says, I've jugged line for years, but am ashamed to now because of the things you guys talk about, rod and reel nowadays.
Yeah.
Marvin, I think if guys that respected the resource is the biggest thing that I see with juggers. They do not respect the resource. They don't care about trashing out the lake. They don't care about other guys. They keep everything. And if you got 100 jugs out for 3 days and there's a limit, you can only have 1 fish over 30 inches. Out of 100 jugs that got hooks for 3 days in the water, how many fish over 30 inches are on the line? A lot of them get lost, but the ones they catch, in my experience, those guys keep every freaking fish that they catch. Everyone.
You know, Chris,
No matter how big or how small.
This is a good topic to lead into what we're going to talk about tonight, you know, with some ethics and different things like that and courtesies. You know, there's a lot of that has been lost on
we could
the water.
Do 5 shows on this topic.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things I talked about, because I had 2 guides on the boat this weekend, and we talked about keeping fish, you know, what's too much and what's okay. And, you know, I said, well, you know, I can understand if somebody spends $500 on a trip, they want to keep the fish regardless if they, you know, have any plans to eat a 5-gallon bucket full of fillets or whatever, 3 gallons of fillets. I can tell you for most people, 3 gallons of fillets is too much.
Yeah.
You can't eat 3 gallons of fillet. You're going to get sick of that fish. Now, some guys like fish fry. Here's the other thing about the fish fry. I got a lot of guide buddies, and I know a lot of guys that go on guided trips. And one of the common things that you'll hear is, yeah, we caught all these fish. And, you know, a whole year went by because you got 3 gallons of fillets and you had 3 meals. And after that, you're done eating catfish for a little while. Then you forget about it. It's in the bottom of the freezer. A year goes by and you're like, oh, it's springtime. Let's go. Let's eat some of this catfish. So you thaw some out. Well, hell, it's freezer burned.
That's it.
So what do? You end up throwing the whole 2 gallons left of fillets in the trash.
Well, let me ask you this, Chris. Would you think it would be up to the guide to maybe start setting some regulations and saying, okay,
hey,
we're going to keep
my buddies do it. My guide, these 2 guys on the boat already said, hey, you know, if you want to, you know, what do y'all want to do? And you know, they're the ones that recommend, all right, y'all want to keep some fish. Let's just keep enough for like 3 meals. You know, ideally, you want to eat fish that's fresh. I can tell you, yeah, you can freeze it, but it's not, if you leave it in there for months, it's not going to be as good as eating fresh. So, you know, just enough for maybe 3. These guys are like, yeah, we tell them just, you know, enough for some to eat, maybe a couple meals, and then we'll throw the rest back.
You know, I've talked to a few, Chris, you know, around, well, towards the Santee area. You know, a lot of them loves to just, you know, the big ones, they'll take the pictures, but anything they, you know, up to 10, they normally throw back and stuff. And only the 10s, they'll allow you to only keep so many, even though the rules.
You can only have 5 over 5 pounds, and you can only have 1 over 30 inches. So 5 pounds, I'll say 5 pounds, 20 inches. You can have 5 over 20 inches and 1 over 30 inches for a lot of our lakes. No size limit. So they remove the size limit. You keep any of them that are small, but anything that's under 20 inches, there's no size minimum. I said limit, minimum. Yeah. You can keep tiny fish. So I don't know. If you got 5 guys on the boat, that means you keep 5 big ones. I mean, that's not cool. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Keep all the little ones, you know, that's fine. They're eaters. But even then, I think it's going to, because a lot of this, what's learned is learned from guides. So when a new guy comes out on the lake with a guide and he sees them keeping everything, you know, they're thinking, okay, this is just how it's done. So I'm going to do it. And whatever I don't eat, I'm just going to keep it all and give it away to everybody. And you know, it's nice to give some fish away here and there, but I'm sorry, guys, there's just too many of us at this point where if we're all keeping these fish every trip, there ain't going to be, I mean, there'll be some left, but the fisheries are all going to be destroyed. So
that's it. Just like Walt said, CPR with the big ones. If you want an eater, 1 or 2, we'll keep them. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing
I
wrong at
agree.
all.
I actually think it's cool that you want to keep a few, and you want to throw the keeping a limit of fish is a lot of freaking fish. Now,
Yeah.
if you've got something planned, I tell guys that come with me, and they're like, "Oh, look, I'm gonna keep some for the fish fry." I said, "When's the fish fry?" "Oh, we don't have one planned." Well, if you don't have one planned, you ain't having a fish fry, bud.
Yeah, normally, man, we're gonna have a fish fry next weekend or something like
Yeah, I
that.
already know how that works because I've been guilty of it. Oh,
Yeah.
keep these for the
Oh,
fish
yeah.
fry, and then comes time for a fish fry. It's been 6 months, and you're like, this
I
fish
think I'll.
been frozen for 6 months.
That's it.
Not real good. Not real good to eat. Let's just
And you know, Chris, it's real good to talk about this subject, because it puts the spotlight out there for everybody, to start talking more about it. And when you have that, people start, going, okay, maybe I do need to change my ways on some of this stuff.
well,
If we
a
can
lot of my
save,
buddies that are going to have a fish fry. Okay, we're going to have a fish fry. You go catch the fish for the fish fry.
yeah,
And if you're having a fish fry for this many people, it might take you 2 trips, enough, maybe sometimes 3 if you got 100 people, but 3 trips, you can feed 100 people. I mean, how many if you're keeping 3 limits of catfish for your house, that's over 100 meals.
yeah.
You're eating fish every 3 days the whole year? I mean, I don't think so. What do I know? Some people like to eat fish, so
we all need to practice. We all talk about, for sure, a lot of us, we actually, we practice this. We put it, as a rule that this is how it's going to be on our boat. And, I myself think it's working. I think a lot more people
it does. Anybody that comes on my boat, if you give them a little bit of education, tell them why you're doing it this way, you're free to keep some. We keep some. We're going to keep 3 to 5 pounders on my boat. I don't even keep them over 5. Really, it's 3 to 5.
And I know there's going to be a lot of people out there you're going to get some feedback. Oh, well, back in the day, we always done it. It's never, this is, teaching. This is learning, teaching people today about, CPR, taking the pictures.
I had to go through, I've been going through on my Facebook feed, and I've been like going through there and blocking political stuff, people that are doing a lot of politics. I blocked all the big fish killers. I went through there, and I'm like, I'll see somebody arguing with somebody, and I'll click on there and realize they're on my friends list, and they're arguing about keeping big fish. And so I'll look on their page, and they're over there with these giant fish in one picture, and on the same post, it's filleted up, fried out on a freaking table. And I'm like, block. I'm not going to argue with it. And if they want to do that, that's fine. You're not going to be in my group of, it's not going to be, I'm not going to be part of it. And a lot of the groups that I see it in, I've left. So, and what's crazy is my friends are moderators. I'm like, why don't y'all moderate this crap? You're condoning it. Moderate some of this big fish killing out of there. Why do you give these guys a platform to piss people off? And like, I guess they want that number that says there's 20,000 people in this group or whatever. Like, I'm leaving this group because I don't like being around it. I don't like being around that, man. There's not a whole lot of things that bother me, but that's one of the things that does. I can't stand to see guys that keep big fish, but not just the keeping of them. It's the trying to piss everybody else off in the process. Trying to intentionally make people mad about it. So let's run back through. Let's keep running down this list. We got, let's see here. Moving on down.
while you getting to that point, Chris, Ryan put up 15 per day in Oklahoma. One blew over 30 inches, and he's put but I've never seen or ever heard of anyone check for that. So how many
I would agree.
are kept over 30 inches?
I would agree. I would say Lake Texoma is probably the most raped lake I've ever seen. Guys from Texas blame all the Oklahoma guys. The guys from Oklahoma probably blame Texas guys. But I do see a lot of guys with those jugs and when their boat's out there pulling them in, it's got Oklahoma tag on it. So but we got them on all our lakes here. It's like I said, it's an old traditional way of doing it. It's meat hauling. The guys are meat hauling.
Yeah.
And, the problem is they keep everything and then they trash out the lake in the process. So, Frank, what's up, bro? Daniel 45. Yep. Talking about the tornadoes and the dust storms down here. Matt Carter, welcome. Mike Mitchell, what's up, fellas? Joseph Jordan, what's up? Chris Gamble, welcome in, bro. Brad Sparks, good evening, my fishing family. Good evening, Brad. Appreciate you coming in. Trent Hall said, that's what I said about tomorrow, but have a track meet to attend. He's talking about the good fishing tomorrow.
Okay.
Southern streams, jugs, and trot lines should be banned. Too much trash and dead fish left behind. I would agree.
And not only that, it should be something like a liability. If somebody falls in that water, it gets.
Hey, my buddy Bill got tangled up in one last year, and it spilled him over in his kayak. He lost a bunch of expensive crap. That's how I snagged his rod when I was drugged through where he got hung up in a jug and spilled him over. So, yeah, it is a liability.
Yeah.
We saw boats coming up through there, and they were doing this number here, like dodging to get – it was like a snake trying to go through all the jugs.
That's crazy. Really, Chris, if you're doing a lot of night fishing, that could be dangerous, Man.
Cookie says we'll have fun whether we're catching or be good to get away from the cold weather. So Saturday we got a cold front hitting, supposed to rain all day. Weatherman could be wrong. Usually the cold front's part of it they're right about, but the rain they can't seem to get. Saturday fishing's probably going to suck. Hopefully we get some rain hit the lake, and Sunday they're fired up feeding and moved up into that area hungry. So,
yeah,
typically that's a good bite right after a rain. Only way to know is to go.
Well, this year's been different anyway, in a lot of different ways. So,
yeah, typically March is a really good month for me for big fish. We'll see. I was not feeling good about it after seeing over 1,000 jugs in the area I fished, with 1/10 of that last year. Maybe more than 1/10, but I find noodles with no body around in sight, no names, no nothing. I do too. Chris Garcia says, I'll see you on Lavon then. So, Chris, I don't typically fish Lavon this time of year. I usually go up to Texoma because March, April's when I've caught all my biggest fish, and they've all come out of Texoma. I'm up there trying to catch me 100-pounder, bro. Justin says last time he was at Texo, it was a weird bite. Lost more fish than he has in a while. Don't think they were turning. Yeah, that's like fishing Lavon. They don't turn. At least half the trips, there's no turning. You got to hook every one of them up. My buddies are like, end of the day, they're like, man, we only got two teeners, you know. We just got pecked on all day. How'd you do? I'm like, well, we missed our first 10 big fish, but after we got them dialed in, we hammered them. So some days you got to hook every fish. It's a bit of a trick to getting it figured out how to do it, but we didn't figure it out Saturday. Joseph Jordan says, and this is at Car Lake where he finds them. Furnace Strata, what's up? I will get them and keep them. Oh, man, I just knocked myself back. So moving on down. Man, we got a lot of good crowd in here.
Yeah, we do.
All right, now I'm getting back to it. All right.
I was about to say you getting caught back up a little bit now.
Where are they going to be Sunday post front? Depends how much rain we get, Juan. If we get rain, they'll move up into shallow water. If we don't, they're going to be dropped back to the first transition out of the shallow water. They're going to be deeper because it's going to be 30 to 50 degrees Saturday. It's going to cool down. So they typically drop back out, but they don't move far from where they like to be shallow because the next day it's going to be warm. They're going to want to start migrating back up shallow. Texoma's a different beast, though, man. You can still catch fish in 60 feet. It's not like any of our other fisheries. So,
welcome in, James. Welcome, brother.
Killer B, howdy, gents. Welcome in, Bill. Time to go arrest some giants up at Texoma, bro. Randall, welcome, buddy.
Got a question, Chris. Derek Wilson over on Facebook. Y'all ever run stingers for short bites or just downsized baits or short baits?
So, short striking fish, from my experience, a lot of times fish in the winter short strike, and really what they're doing is I use giant bait. So what they're doing is they're coming up and doing an injury bite, and they like to bite the back half of the bait to injure what they think is a fish that's still a little bit of alive. That's the beauty of dragging your bait. They think it's still a little bit of alive but injured, so they come up to try to bite the crap out of it. And yes, I use stinger hooks, and I'm still running stingers. I usually run stingers all the way through March because I stay really big. The stinger hook is, yes, it's for the short strike, but really it's the injury bite. So they'll just come up, crush the back part of the bait, and hold it in their mouth. And they'll tail whip. So their head will be like this, and then they'll tail whip to try to injure that bait and crush it. So every time they bite down, they tail whip, and when they tail whip, that's when you crank on them, and that's how you get them. Once you figure out that's how they're biting, you can catch damn near every one. Usually, you're going to miss 3 or 4 in a row before you realize I got to do something different to hook these damn things. So.
Good deal.
Says when he was a kid, he used to go to Texoma and run trot lines, and the guy my dad worked with used to catch monsters. But I'm glad they outlawed it in there now. Well, you can still run trot lines, but now it's freaking Jug Central, man. It's freaking Jug City. It's like a minefield up there.
Man.
What's up, bud? Jugging Jason Adventures here.
Oh, man. Let's see here. Still trying to get caught up, guys. Chat's been flying over here.
Bernie says if there's jugs on his lake more than 2 days old, then they're going in the trash bin.
Derek said anchor fishing with circle hooks makes me scared to reel down. Brother, I can tell you I do a lot of anchor fishing, and I will reel down with circle hooks all day long on them.
That's how I do it too.
Yeah, no problem.
You know, when you crank down, the key is there needs to be some bend in the rod. As long as you got bend in the rod, you can crank on them. That means they're running either to the side, or their heads turned, or they're pointed the opposite direction. As long as when you figure out the real trick to getting them, which is they do need to be turned a little bit, because sometimes they just come straight towards the boat, and you crank down on them and you're sucking it right out of their mouth. So
I tell you, I watched the rod tip, and watching that rod tip can teach you anything you want to know about when to crank down on one.
Yeah, so if your line goes limp, it also helps to see which way in the water they're running. If you're shallow water fishing, you can generally see which way the fish is running. You want to try to catch up to the fish quickly, and then when the rod bends, you crank down on them.
Yep. Yeah, I have no problem at reeling down on one though on anchor.
Trent says not enough rain, should be back to that 10 to 20 foot range. Only one way to find out, Trent. I'm going to go scan it. I know if I can find them carp, I'm going to drag through them again.
Fish on Marine Electronics. What's up, buddy? Welcome in.
Boskin, you got to get my battery you got to get that battery taken care of for me before this weekend, because I'm going to be dragging, bro. And I'm limping on two the cold killed one of my new batteries. Cold weather killed it, man. I got to get one slapped in. I got them from Boskin, so they're under warranty. I just got to, not sure which one is which. It's crazy under there.
He says, I know, brother. I know.
That freaking day cleared out so I can get my boat in there. Illinois, it's raining and snowing a little bit here in Illinois. That's crazy. I'm glad that snow's done here.
Brother, I am not wanting to see no more snow for a while.
Dennis Perry, I know y'all touched on blues feeding on sand bass. Will they follow them up in the creeks this time of year? And if so, they stay around the mouth or they go up a ways? They will go up. They will stay with those sand bass. Now, not all sand bass go up into the creeks, because I got my buddies who are like, man, you can't catch sand bass in the lake right now. And I'm like, I got guide buddies that fish for sand bass 7 days a week, and they're not up in the creeks. They stay on the lake. Not all fish go off that program. A lot of sand bass will spawn in 20 to 25 feet on right on those rocky points and ledges. So, but yes, they follow them. They will follow them all the way up into the river, all the way up into the creek. I got buddies that are like, man, we were up in the creek and saw these sand bass trying to get over this there's a log laydown stretched over the creek, and the sand bass were going over the top. They're like, man, we could see those sand bass going over the top. Occasionally we'd see a giant blue cat come in there, freaking orca whale those things, crush them. It's like, man, right there where they were going over that and they weren't paying attention when they went over it. They were smashing them right there.
Yeah, Walt said CatCon was enough for all of us talking about the snow. I feel you, brother.
Yeah, so we'll be out there Sunday. We're going to give them hell. I'm due for a freaking monster. So I go up there for all of our fish over 60. Pretty much that's where we catch most of them. So yeah, skipjack works on Texoma. I got buddies that use it up there. You know, you can actually catch skipjack below the dam. And I've even heard of guys catching a few out of Texoma. Now I've never seen them. I've never caught them. I don't know anyone who has, but I have heard that there are some in Texoma. But I do know for certain that they catch them below Texoma, and you know it's an oily fish. Blue cats will eat damn near anything when they're hungry. I'm sorry that they will. There's no chickens swimming around in the lake either, and guys catch them on chicken. I know guys catch them on mullet and stuff that's not in the lake. Trent says he might ease out Friday afternoon to the small little lake, then maybe Sunday. I bet you'll get them. You never know. You never know. Pre-front is a 50-50 shot. The day before the front hits is usually 50-50. 2 days before the front hits, usually really good. Usually the day the front hit sucks, but that I've had some of my highest poundage day came off the day a major front was hitting. I thought I was going to just be out there for a couple of fish and ended up catching a couple 1,000 pounds. So only one way to know is to go, boys.
That's it. I see where Juan said he's going to be out Sunday looking for some action.
Yeah, we'll be looking for some serious big fish action where we're at. I'm going massive again. I'm going freaking massive. So the show tonight, we got sidetracked, but
we always do, man.
I asked Jamie, what do you want to do the show on? He's like, we don't even need a topic. We just start rolling and we'll let the show go wherever it goes. So one thing I wanted to talk about is common courtesy. And I know that I see a lot of people don't have common courtesy on the water. So what are some of the things that bother you guys when you're out there catfishing, when you think, what is this guy thinking? What is going through this person's mind right now? What are some of the things that bother you, Jamie, that you think guys could do better?
You know, one of the things that really pisses me off is when you're sitting there, you got your boards out, or you're sitting there and you're anchored up. I don't know how else to say it, but I think people want to see how close they can actually get to your lines, either getting in your lines or just barely missing them. You know, it really just ticks me that there is.
You got boats motoring around you?
Oh, yeah.
Getting real close into your lines. Yeah, that's not right. So what do you think's going through their mind? Because they don't think that they're just being an a-hole, right? They just don't have common courtesy. So it's ignorance.
I think a lot of it, Chris, is, I'm going to say it, they don't have the raising that people used to do a lot of times. See, some of these young, hell, it's not really just the young ones. I've seen some of the older, people that want to argue with you, oh, well, you're just this close to the boat lane. Well, I was here first. Yeah. They make a steering wheel or a tiller handle to go around my line.
It's a big area. You don't have to come right there next to you. I mean, I try to stay clear of guys. Yep. If I see you're a catfisherman, I might get where I know is not too close to spook your fish, but close enough where I can wave at you. Say, I'm that type of dude. I will, like, if I see a catfisherman way over there, I may kind of get, within 100 yards and wave and maybe see if I know who they are, but I'm not going to get 50, technically they can get up to 50 feet. I mean, if they get closer than 50 feet, it becomes illegal, but 50 feet is not very far.
and Chris, one of the biggest things I hate is when we're actually doing a tournament, but yet there's a bass tournament. A lot of these guys, there's a lot of times you either see recordings of shouting at each other, these bass guys with no respect, wanting to run 100 miles an hour past you, right beside you. I mean, it's just crazy.
I see it on my lake where, like, in the summertime, I drift fish a lot of humps and stuff. I call it pleasure drifting. We just go out there in our swimsuits and we drift. It's real easy. You find a hump where the sand bass are schooled up, and you just drift over it, and you catch about, probably 8 to 10 fish each time you go over it. And when we do that, all of a sudden, all the sand bass guys, they see my boat, and they're like, this dude, he must be a guide. And so one guy will come, then the next guy, and they're like magnetized towards other boats. And before you know it, there's 12 freaking boats around you. And I'll have a bass guy that everybody will be fishing, and the bass guy, and we're all spread out, but on a big hump, and the bass guy will blow right through the whole middle of it on his way, because it's a straight line shot. He don't want to have to go around. He'll blow right through everybody. And it's unbelievable to me that somebody would do that.
I tell you, my blood pressure, man, goes from here to up here within a second when that crap happens. And not only
stuff, when it really bothers me is when they put my son at risk, and
that's I was about to say safety, man. People take life for granted sometimes, and when you're out on that water, within a split second, anything can happen. And safety is one of my biggest concerns. And I don't want to see no one get hurt. I don't want to see no one get killed. And I think if people would just take a little extra time and use that right there, that's why it's there. That's why God put it on our head. And
Trent says people just don't care. Bottom line, it's all about me mentality. I agree with that. They just want to get to their deal as fast as possible, and I'm going to cut right through these guys, and I don't care about their fishing. I'm just going to do what I want to do, and what are they going to do? Because they'll never see me again type.
Well, until I can get that boat heel.
Jonathan Coley says ignorance and alcohol.
That's a lot of it, man, especially summertime.
Summertime fishing is really dangerous.
And Chris, that's the bad thing is I've seen it at night on here local on the intercoastal waterways and stuff like that. A lot of this is not just daytime. A lot of it's at night. I've had guys, shoot through 3 of my lines and just barely come right beside the boat.
Yeah,
at night.
Yeah. So Juan said him and Patrick had a bass boat come right at him going 50 and go between his third and fourth board and then bust his line.
Yeah.
And I've got, when I used to live stream a lot, I would have that happen. Sometimes it would be sand bass fishermen who would think that I'm a sand bass fisherman. They don't realize that I got all this spread out, and they would get into my lines, and I'm like, hey, I got lines out here, and they didn't understand what even that meant.
Yeah.
They would get into my stuff and get cut off. But then I would have guys that would come up, like if I'm night fishing, I got all these, black lights and, like purplish blue lights for the under the T-top. And these guys come up to look, and I'm like, I'm out here, I'm fishing. I got lines out because I'm dragging, And
actually, I've seen one of your lives
with me and got up, cut got into every one of my freaking boards, dude, and then gunned it, and just all my stuff just took everything, dude. It was gone, and my buddy's like, man, you got to go open your spools and just let them eat all that stuff into their prop. I was like, I couldn't think. I mean, it was like this rod gets slammed. It was all instantaneous. Slam, 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 and then gone. It's like, holy crap, dude.
And Chris, not only that, a lot of people forget how to even slow down for people anymore. It's really changed. This world has changed, and it's really got where there's a lot of rude people out there. They don't give a crap. I
think a lot of people are just ignorant, though. I think some of these guys. I got a lot of catfishing guys that follow me around. Okay, it's just comes with the territory. I'm a helpful person. If somebody asks, I'm going to tell them. Guys at the ramp see me. They're like, "Oh, where are you going?" I'm going right up here. They'll follow me. They'll wait till I put my boat in, and I put in, and they're, so it's just part of it. But what I don't like is when they get on my line where I'm going to be dragging, or they line up right next to me, and I know I'm going to be going slower than them because most guys just aren't capable. If it's a windy day, they can't slow their boat down enough. So, and I also drag, so I'm not just going with the wind. I'm trying to hit something. It might be a channel, it might be a ledge, and they're just going with the wind, and they line up and go faster, and then end up getting right in front of me on my line.
Yeah, just like
that freaking chaps my hide, dude.
Oh yeah, just like Rebecca said, we had over in the inlet one day, we had somebody take 6 of ours, and actually they got stopped when that line wrapped around their prop, and I just pulled up. We actually went over there and we had a little chat. I asked them how dumb your ass is. That's pretty much how I said it. Sorry, but Rebecca has to tell me to calm down on that sometimes. But I asked them, and they really sometimes, Chris, they don't have a good comeback. They're like, "Well, I didn't know. I didn't know." Well, yeah, the prop. Yeah, that's for sure. The prop took a lot of that for sure.
That's one thing when I was a younger man, I could not let something go. I would reel up my crap. I would freaking haul ass, chase that dude down, and make sure that I gave him a piece of my mind. And usually it was me goading him into a fist fight. And I'd say, "You meet me over at the ramp," and he'd freaking take off, and I'd get out. I'd run my shit right up on shore, and it would be on. Before he could get out of the boat, I was on him like a freaking chicken on a June bug. But I'm 50, I got all of that shit out of my system probably right about the time I married my wife.
I was about to say too, Chris, Rebecca has to tell me, "Hey, just let them have it, let it go. We'll regroup." And that's one thing that I've come to know, hey, there's a lot of people out there that didn't have the right raising sometimes and no good ethics and respect that you got just overlook at it sometimes.
Somebody be on the boat, they're like, "You're going to do what?" I said, "What if he's got a gun?" I said, "I'm going to take it from him and beat him with it. Watch. He's not even going to know what the hell's about to happen." But,
oh man,
I'm too old for that. Plus, it's not really worth doing all that.
Yeah.
If you're allowing people to affect you in that negative of a way, then it's not a good thing. So it's better if you can somehow learn to just let it go, man, to laugh it off and just say, "Oh, it's not worth it. Let
that's
them
it.
Go on and be gone, and we'll move on with it."
And that's very true, Chris, because I'm like you, man. The older I get, the more, it's just like it's not worth it no more. It's just let them have it, let them go. They're going to have problems down the road later on. You just got to build yourself up. Well, their motor's going to break down or something. You just got to say it to yourself. But you don't hope nothing bad on nobody. But God, I wish people would wake up.
I used to board people's boats like I was Pirates of the Caribbean. I would jump. Oh man, not good. But you live and learn. You know,
That's it.
You live and learn. I think one thing about in today's day and age, I'll have guys that come right up to my boat and because I'm drifting, and they'll come up and all of a sudden they'll be right next to me, mad as hell, flipping me off. And I'm thinking, what the hell did I do? I'm drift fishing out here. What are you so mad about? I'm like, what could I have possibly done sitting out here in the middle of the lake drift fishing where this guy is irate? So I don't know what it is today in today's day and age. A lot of people are just unhinged. So,
Chris, tell me you were sitting there, you were just waving back at him, say, "Hey man, how you doing, brother? How you doing?"
I waved back at him, but I gave him. It wasn't this. I waved back at him, but.
Oh man, Dan, appreciate that, buddy. This is the greatest show on earth. Appreciate that, brother. Y'all know us, man. We're gonna tell it to you. We're gonna tell you the truth about it. We're not gonna hide nothing. I mean,
we're not perfect, and I've done a lot of dumb shit in my life. But you live and learn. You try to become a better person. You try to respect your fellow anglers. To get respect, you got to give respect. One thing is I don't like being disrespected. So it goes. That's when my judgment starts getting out of whack. I start somebody's really disrespectful. I start wanting to I'm like, man.
Matter of fact, Mama Rebecca there, she just said, could you imagine Chris having a fishing YouTube channel in his 20s? The Royal Rumble.
Oh goodness.
Oh man, that would definitely have been wild.
If there was video cameras thank God there were not video cameras on people's phones when I was in my 20s and 30s, because I've done a lot of stuff that I could be in trouble for. You can't do all that stuff now. Somebody's got their video camera out there. The old boat ramp beatdown would be all over the internet.
That's what Juan was just saying. Fight night at the ramp. I've seen one or two of those.
It used to be a regular occurrence up until I'd say about 15 years ago. I don't even hardly see fights anymore. Yeah. But it used to be a normal thing. If you went to a bar, there was a fight. If you left the bar, there was another fight. If you were at the lake, there was a fight. I would see two guys fighting on boats. I'd see guys fighting at the boat ramp. I'd see two guys hauling ass in, and I was one of those guys a bunch.
Yeah.
I mean, used to, people settled their differences with this, and you didn't have a whole lot of disrespect. These days, you don't have any of that handling it the Southern Justice way, and it's all just a bunch of people disrespecting. It's like,
yeah.
I don't know which way's better. Is it better to be able to go handle that stuff where some of these people I don't think would be talking the way that they talk if there was any type of repercussion,
That's it. Like I say, Chris, it's water under the bridge, man. I just let it go right off my back.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the same way. I let a lot of stuff go that used to I would have never let go. Just you get older, you live, you learn, you realize it's not worth it, man. Not worth it.
That's it. But that's just like, people respecting, each other anymore. I would love to see a lot more of it than this.
Everyone has a plan till they get hit in the face, and that's true.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
it.
So I was raised to always, if you think you're going to be in one, go ahead and get in one before they know what the hell's even happened. I mean, that's just the way I was raised. That suited me well all through my youth. Even when I was a young man, even when I was middle-aged man, I still got into a lot of altercations. And it was always when a guy thought he was going to be in something, he didn't really realize he was already in it. I already knew. I already knew. I can tell when somebody thinks they're going to do something, but then they ain't quite ready. But
there wasn't no talking.
Talking.
Nothing at all. That's it. What else, Chris? What else, I mean, is out there that really kind of just kind of, where people just need to slow down and understand, that it's not the right way. What else is
okay, here's another thing that sometimes bothers me. So I got a lot of guys that'll ask me where to fish, and I'm the type of guy that tells them where to fish. And I'll say, they're like, where are you fishing Sunday? Okay, here's an example. Where are you fishing Sunday? All right, this is where I'm fishing. This is where they're like, where do you think the fish will be? I'll say, this is where I think the fish are going to be. This is where I plan on fishing. Okay. I get out there. I told them where to fish. I told them I was coming, and they're in the exact spot that I was going to fish before I could get there. That freaking bothers me. I don't mind you fishing around me, but if I tell you I'm going to fish this certain very tight piece of structure and you're there when I get there, that's disrespectful, man. That's just not cool. You should have some type of respect for the guy who's told you where to fish, and don't say I'm going to get, if I tell you I'm going to get there at 7 and I'm coming at 7 and you go at 6 just so you can get to the spot I told you to fish first, that's just not right. It's not right.
That's it. I agree with you 150%, but I've had that
off, dude.
I've had that happen to me plenty of times, just chatting with people, the day before, 2 days before, going, I think I'm going to go here Saturday, and that's where I'm going to head, and show up, and there's like 3 boats pretty much right there, right where I want to get, and it's like, well, I know who you are. I mean, we just talked, and, I lose a lot of respect for that type of people.
Here's what's funny. I'll have guys on the boat. I'm like, all right, we get there. I'm like, this son of a bitch is in the spot I told him I was coming to fish. So they're like, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to go find some different fish. And so I will leave and go find some different fish. And my buddy's like, how long do you think it'll be before that guy's over here fishing around you? I said, he's reeling up right now. I can bet you he's reeling up right now. And in 10 minutes, he'll be over here setting up. And sure enough, it'll be 10 minutes and they're right there setting up. And so I'll do my little run and then I'll move back to my original spot that I'd planned on fishing in the first place.
That's it.
So,
man.
That's something right there I don't understand. I just don't understand. If somebody is cool enough to give you the fishing location and they say, I'm coming Saturday, I'm going to be there at 7, don't show up at 6 and get to the spot before them. Show up at 7 when they get there and then go fish next to them.
And have a good time. Have a good time.
And we'll all have fun, hooting and hollering.
That's it. Fishing World 123. Jamie, yes, we are going to be getting ready to light it up here real soon. So I will definitely be back out there doing some springtime fishing, myself and Rebecca. And we're getting ready, hopefully next week, get the boat back, and we're going to start lighting it up.
Some weight, says.
Oh, I think that's the camera. I don't know that. That's probably a week or so in the hospital, Chris, that we had where we couldn't eat that hospital food. Oh, man. Oh, Lord. But yeah, we're getting ready to start lighting it up.
Catfish Fever says, just let it go is what I do now. In my 20s, I did some time when I thought it was a good thing to take stuff into my own hands. Bass fishermen come onto my spot and went south from there. But now I'm old. Me and you both, buddy. You live and you learn.
It.
You live and you learn.
Yeah, we are doing that also, the meat thing. The flatheads, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. As soon as I get right back out there, we're gonna definitely start. They should be already starting to turn on a little bit. Not wide open right now, but I feel we can go ahead and get on some flatheads as soon as we get back out there. So you should be able to get some right now.
Yeah, they're firing up. I'm seeing guys catching them.
Yeah.
Lewis Parker says boat ramp etiquette, not turning off headlamps when launching at daybreak or late evening, not prepared to unload and fully in the launch before preparing the boat. Yep, I agree. It takes me all of about 2 minutes to launch my boat because I do all my prep work. Everything is ready. I go put the boat in, I unlatch it, I freaking turn it on, and I go put it at the dock. And I'm ready to fish.
You see a lot of that, Chris. It's crazy at the people that sit at the dock where you can't unload your boat because they've got 2 or 3 boats and they're just sitting there talking to each other. Yeah, and you have to walk up there and say, "Hey, man, how about let me unload today? I was wanting to go fishing today, not tomorrow."
Here's one thing I've noticed is if I haven't fished in a couple of weeks, I got stuff turned around backwards and. I'm doing stuff, and I fish every week for my whole life, and just not fishing 2 or 3 weeks, I will get rusty. So you got to also think some of these people aren't out on the water all the time, so they get out there. It's hard, unless you've got a routine. Even when you got a routine that you've been doing every week, year round, for 30 years, you get off 2 or 3 weeks and suddenly you forgetting to get your remote out of the truck or you forgot your phone in the you left your phone on the charger in the console or so there is something to maybe these people they're not used to being out there all the time, so shit takes a lot longer.
Yeah.
Because you're just not my buddies come on the boat. They're like, what can I do? I'm like, just sit there. Let me do my thing. Otherwise, if I get out of whack on one little thing, it's going to end up taking us longer because I'll have forgot something. And we'll have to freaking go back. We'll get all the way to the spot and the bait's in the back of the truck. I'll get all the way to my spot, scan and find fish. I'm like, all right, they're here. I'll go to get my bait out of the bait cooler, and it's not it's in the truck. Oh man. So
how was Texoma this past weekend, Chris?
It was freaking terrible. Fish were there. We marked 2 really good groups. We marked a real good group in 10 to 12 feet. We marked a giant pile of fish in 30 feet. They just didn't want to bite. They didn't want to play. We lost some good ones. We lost one tank. We lost a handful of really good ones. We caught some eaters.
Yeah.
We sucked. All I can say is we sucked.
Yeah, I will. As soon as I get back out there, I will be catching some brim. Right now, you can catch brim right now with no problem. But yeah, we will definitely be catching some brim and going after some flatheads for sure.
Killer B said he had a wake boat waked him in his kayak.
Yeah, man, I think that's.
He was ready to go Fifth City, and he's a cop.
I tell you, Chris, what else? Is them jet skis, man, that gets underneath my skin. Holy crap.
So we don't have a whole lot of jet ski issues until right about now. And then they don't typically come out till about 10:30, 10:45. They're generally pretty young kids that are on them, or they're people that rent them. And I think those people that rent them stay up drinking Friday night, so they don't get up real early Saturday morning. And we're up early to fish, so we don't see them until about 10:30, and that's about the time to get off the water.
And around here, they have a lot of them tours. They run jet skis through the back creeks and everywhere where you're trying to catch bait and stuff. I've yet to understand why they run these things off of the main waterways in some of these back creeks where some of these tours.
Doesn't make a whole lot of sense, does it?
Yeah.
Kelby, we'll be back up there Sunday. We're going to be back. We'll be up there every weekend for the next 2 months. We'll be back up there Sunday. I typically don't have 2 bad trips in a row. Now that I said that, probably going to get my ass kicked again. So we'll see. Big front hit Saturday. Only way we'll know is to get up there and get some lines wet. So
yeah, Rebecca, Mama, they definitely, man, dude, they're out there in full Eskimo, outfits right now, running them jet skis up and down these cotton picking waterways.
Yeah, I see people water skiing.
Not me.
Hell no. Wetsuits. Wakeboard. Wetsuits.
What else, Chris? What else is it, man? I know there's a lot of good things that gets under our skins and stuff like that.
Well, those are the main things. I think. I wasn't sure I wanted to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it. So I had a guy on the boat that I got him, his son, his father-in-law. I got them all PBs. Got them all their PBs. Never asked for a single thing. And I see he's posting these pictures that were caught on my boat, which I don't have a problem you doing, but he's posting them in some pro staff deal. And he's promoting all these products, none of which those fish were caught on. The fish were all caught on my son's Action Jackson hooks. They were caught on some of Jamie's rigs, some Demon Dragons on my Mad Catch rods with smackdown rod holders. It bothered me that he was promoting other crap when he caught the fish on my boat using these other things. In my mind, he should have been saying, these Action Jackson hooks got us our PB. Instead, he's over there promoting these other brands and showing pictures of these fish that were caught off of Carolina Lakewaite's hooks, Carolina Lakewaite's rigs, Demon Dragon floats. He's promoting a different rod. They were caught on a Mad Cats. He's promoting a different rod holder. They're caught on a freaking Smackdown. It's like disrespectful to me. I thought it was disrespectful after everything that I had done for the guy. Don't be doing all that.
And the rough thing, Chris, is in the catfishing industry now, this day and time, you see a lot of that, man. And
here's the deal: the way I felt about it, I felt like he sold his loyalty for a couple packs of free hooks, because he was real thankful by words, but when it came time for the action part of the gratuity, being gracious, showing gratitude is an action. He actually promoted these other guys for a couple free packs of hooks and a t-shirt. And I'm like, damn, loyalty is cheap these days. You buy somebody's loyalty for a couple packs of hooks. I'm like, damn. No respect, man. Got no respect.
Oh, man.
Oh man.
Hey, that's the way it goes sometimes, man. You hate to see things like that, but
I don't care what you use. I got buddies that use every freaking rod on the planet. I don't have a problem with it at all. Different hooks, different drip weights, different rods, different rod hole. What I didn't like is him showing this picture caught on my boat using all the stuff that
yeah.
and making it out like these other hooks are the greatest thing on the planet and on these other rods. And it just made me think, all right, I guess I won't be taking that dude fishing anymore. Guess he's off the free help list. And I'd given him bait. I'd given him bait at the lake. I told him where to fish on his boat. I give him locations.
Yep.
young guy. All I can say is he was a young guy.
Sometimes you hope people wake up and understand, the respect part of it, Chris, but also understand the part where when somebody helps you and shows you stuff or talks to you about stuff, that they would take that to heart and go, okay, yeah, maybe I should have done this different and stuff like that.
So me, I never ask for a single thing when anybody comes to fish with me or anything. But something that does bother me is if you do have a chance to show gratitude and you don't at least take that chance, that opportunity, it's like, all right, is it really worth helping that dude again? He doesn't seem real, doesn't have any real gratitude for what, I was like, I got a lot of other dudes that are real friendly, and
I've always been the type to say, Chris, you live and you learn.
I'm the same way. I don't, we all make mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. None of us are, we live and learn. And I'd even told the guy before about some things that had bothered me about it. And it didn't matter. He went ahead and went on and did it again. So,
man,
whatever, man.
That's it.
It's whatever. I got plenty other good dudes that are, we'll just go on and be gone.
Keep on rolling. That's it, brother. That's it. Should I target blues or flatheads for March, April on the river? I live in South Carolina. Actually, to tell you the truth, my friend, March is a good month for blues for sure on the rivers here in South Carolina. Yeah. But
pre-spawn.
I would
pre-spawn. Yeah. So Fishing World 123 says, can you catch trophy blues in the month of March? Yeah. Absolutely. And generally they're going to be moving shallow. They're going to start moving up around spawning habitat in March. They're trying to feed up pre-spawn because they're going to stop eating during the spawn for the most part.
That's it. And that's why I said, man, once we can get back out there, right now in our rivers, we're gonna start lighting them up because right now it's getting prime, for sure for the blues right here for us. I know we can go out there and catch a monster right now on the rivers here for sure. So yeah, especially here in South Carolina, definitely.
Rebecca says April's is great flathead fishing on the PD.
Yes, yeah, she's right. Mama, she loves them flatheads, and y'all will start seeing a lot of pictures of flatheads that she'll be catching here shortly on the PD and different local rivers here in South Carolina. So, for sure.
Rob, I don't expect it really from anyone, but I'll tell you why it chapped my hide more than anything is because why I got mad is because it actually hurt because I thought the dude was my friend. And why are you over there up these other dudes' ass for a couple packs of hooks when I'm your friend? And, all right, Well, why don't you let that dude that gave you 2 packs of hooks take you fishing and teach you all this stuff and give you bait and give you your fishing spots? And which one's more valuable to you? The 2 free packs of hooks and some meaningless pro staff badge, or friendship and brotherhood and guys that are really helping you out of the goodness of their heart. Because I guarantee you, he has ruined that with me after that. So it for me, more than anything, it was hurtful. So you won't hear that from me too often, but that's why I thought he was my friend.
That's it. Do you use river herring? They got them at the bait shop. I actually tell you the truth, my friend, I don't use a lot of the river herring on the river.
That's an American shad?
Yeah, pretty much right here. Locally, I'm pretty well. You're gonna find me with American eel. You're gonna find me with brim, and that's probably my two best.
So the American shad comes up in saltwater, Jamie. The American shad migrates.
Oh yes, yeah.
Certain time of year they leave the salt, go up into the river.
Yeah,
probably to spawn.
Actually, right now they're catching a few of them off the rivers and stuff right now. But I just myself, I don't use a lot of them. I love the American eel. I love just that live bluegill or cut bluegill.
It looks like an American shad looks just like a gizzard shad to me.
Yeah. And he's right. It's almost the same thing. It's like a skipjack, with the oil and all that style. But I just don't use a lot of it myself. So let's see here. One says some young people are addicted to the likes on social media, so many just post anything to get them. My personal option. That's true.
What I think, the like thing, sometimes it's better to be controversial than to actually be just helpful. When we started this, I told Jamie this ain't for the likes. I mean, hell, I'm 50. I don't give a crap. It's not about the likes. It's about like-minded people. Trying to grow our group of like-minded people that you got to start small, and then as you add people in, sometimes you got to get rid of some, but then you just keep adding more and more, and before you know it, you've got a ton of really good dudes around you. But occasionally one slips in there that is selfish, that's not a giving type of person. They take. They ass kiss their way in. That's one thing. It's somebody who kisses a lot of ass. A lot of times they're actually a selfish type of person. They're trying to get something out of you. And when they realize that you can't provide whatever they're trying to get out of you, all of a sudden you're the bad guy.
Chris, we've always we had a show one time early back when we first started about pro staff. The word pro staff, I feel that has ruined
our deal to just team members, because
that's it.
I don't want our guys to feel like they got to promote. I feel like guys that just promote, you're actually offending a lot of people the way that they do it. Saying that yours is the best, this is the best in the world,
And 2 weeks earlier or a week earlier, they were using something else.
2 weeks earlier, they were saying this is the best of the world.
Yeah.
I tell our guys, if it works for you, tell people that it's working for you, but share your journey through your fishing. All this should be shared through your fishing. And, as far as just having to be some type of promoter, I mean, nobody's really getting paid to do any of this stuff. I don't really understand a lot of I do understand a lot of the deal because I'm part of it. But I think a lot of guys get caught up in getting that badge, and they feel like that's what makes them wanted or whatever. And it's nice to feel wanted and feel like, you've got some type of, you know, you're, what's the word I'm looking for? You're validated as somehow a good fisherman. But what I see, if you're a good fisherman and you're a good person, then these brands will just give you stuff just because they want good people to represent their brand. And if you're some guy that just promotes and jumps and you give me some free crap and I'll promote your stuff, then it's the little brands that the other little guys that are just starting out that just want people to put their name out there. It's a little bit different. And I told Jamie when we built our team, I don't give a crap if these guys promote. I know you might not want to hear that. I just want good dudes. That's why we got police officers, preachers. We got truck drivers. We got city workers, military vets. We got, guys that own construction companies, all different types of dudes. But one thing is in common is they're all really good dudes. They're giving. If I asked them to donate to a charity, almost all of them would donate to the charity. They're giving guys, and that's a common thread with really a lot of the guys that I'm friends with. They're giving, they're gracious, they're respectful, they have honor. Not trying to be a social media influencer.
Sometimes, Chris, I believe this whole thing with social media anymore, it takes away from a lot of what it used to be. When it's now, oh, I've got to be in front of the camera 24/7. It takes away from a lot of the family stuff that people used to do. And I'm gonna say this. I mean, myself and Rebecca, we own this business. Yes, we do a little bit of TikTok, but am I on there every second of every day?
Y'all
No,
are
I'm
doing
not.
it for the business side of it, but y'all
That's
got a
it.
different thing going on. Y'all are very just, I don't know, family oriented. You're respectful towards people. You're not trying to, it's not a me type
Yep.
deal.
I don't care if you got 10,000 followers. I've only got 2,000. Hey, I don't care about that stuff. We we go on there. We love to talk with people, just like family members. That's we're just talking, or we're not sitting there like every second. It's just like me. It's not like that. When we talk to you, it's like family, just like with Carolina Lakeways, family, friends, for sure. That's what this
I
is
don't,
all about.
Also is I don't really care what level of angler you are. As long as you're a good person, we're going to get along.
Yeah.
I'm not going to classify you as, whether you're worthy to be in my circle because of, what you can offer me. I do see a lot of that. People think that they're the gatekeepers of social media and these cliques that are everywhere. It's like, if I'm in a clique, I'm in the good one because it's just all good dudes and giving and open, willing to help. I would say the what we got going on is not the norm for what I
Yeah.
other places that I see. So
That's it. Let's see here. Let me answer this one, Chris. Do you cut the fins off the chunks? Yeah, a lot of times I do cut the fins and stuff off when I'm chunking up a brim. I definitely do sometimes.
I do too. It just anytime I'm using whole baits, I typically cut all the fins off.
Yeah.
It's just those are areas if you're slinging baits and that thing's twisting, a lot of times that hook, that fin is just an area that gets hung and foul hooks when you're casting stuff out. That's why I do it. I just over time I've found that any of those things that you can eliminate, it's, if you're doing it over a year's time, how many times have you reeled back up and that hook's on one of the fins? So eliminating that might mean a few more fish.
That's it. John, thank you for that, my friend. That let's see here. You two are true ambassadors. We appreciate that, man. Those kinds of words, we really do. We definitely try. That's for sure. We put it out there. We're not afraid to talk about subjects. I feel that really opens.
Makes us not liked, but
Chris, if I'm not liked by some people because of speaking the truth, then I didn't need them as friends anyway. I'm just being honest about it.
Yeah, and you're also not doing it in a mean type of way. Like a lot of these guys that say that statement, well, people don't like me just because I speak the truth. Well, and I'm like, a lot of those guys that say that are just assholes. That's why people don't like you.
That's it.
You're not that way. You're a very friendly, open.
Brother, you get that a lot of times in this business. Hey, it's just something you have to let roll off your shoulders a lot of times. But I can tell you this, the good outweighs more of the bad. So that's one good positive thing about it. There's a lot more good out there.
Sometimes that bad part will kind of make you want to just quit doing all this. But then you got to realize all the good that comes of it and all the good people that you've met. And you got to realize, all right, that one dude that's giving you grief, you got to learn to just cut that, remove that, get rid of that. It's not even worth going back and forth or listening to people that are that way. Just get rid of them. Keep that group positive. Anybody that's negative, try to cut that part of it out.
That's it. And it's a shame, a lot of times that when you want to give to everybody, you want to give as much as you can, but as soon as you say, well, I've kind of given out right this second, and it just goes haywire. You got, then somebody's like, okay, well, I'm leaving the order, doing this. It's really like, man, that just shows you true characters in some people.
A lot of people are takers.
Yeah,
they just want to take.
That's it.
And you'll see a lot of those takers. Like, let's go back to the pro staff side of it, or sponsored angler, whatever the hell you want to call it. The ambassador. You'll see a lot of these guys, they'll be with one brand, they give them some free crap. The brand quits giving them crap because they don't get anything in return out of it. And then some other brand's like, oh, I'll give you some free crap if you promote for me. And then so they jump ship over there, and now they're promoting for them for 3 months or whatever. And then that company's like, well, I'm gonna quit giving this dude free crap because I don't get anything. It has to be a mutual type deal, and I think that's why it doesn't work for a lot of guys. It works for me because all the stuff that all the brands that have wanted to sponsor me and my son, I was using long before. I love the stuff. It worked for me. I told my friends about it. My friends started using it. It was a seamless transition because the brands are like, we're hearing all these guys using this stuff and we appreciate it. And it's kind of like, here's how we're going to show our appreciation. It's not, hey, can I buy your loyalty for some free crap? I see that a lot these days.
Oh yeah.
I see that a lot these days. That I don't like that, man.
And Chris, like that. I'll be the first to say I have turned down some positions. When we first started, I have really slowed down on taking positions, as they're called, pro staff positions, because it got to a point where it was like, man, this ain't fun no more. this isn't what I thought it was going to be like. I thought it was going to be fun. Represent things that you love to use, you don't mind talking about, but it got to a point where it's like, man, I'm gonna slow down on some stuff.
Yeah, so all my brands, when they brought me on, they said, we don't expect, don't do anything different. Just do just fish and have fun.
And that's it.
We don't expect anything else. I said, I'm not real good at sharing. I don't like to share advertisements, man, because I just don't like seeing other dudes do it.
Do it through your fishing, brother. Do it through your fishing is the way it should be. Having fun.
I get it if a company that you're representing and they're giving you a bunch of stuff to represent them. Now, if they want to ask you occasionally, hey, we got this new product coming out. Would you mind sharing this out? I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
What I do have a problem with is having to constantly share out their freaking advertisements. Because I don't have, I feel like I don't have to do all that. I just fish and have fun doing it. And
let the fishing speak for itself, and the products that you use, you trust in, you believe in, and
I wouldn't be using them if they don't work for me at a high level. I'm not going to freaking use them.
That's it.
And, it doesn't matter if it's hooks, other rods, other planer board companies, other tackle companies that are like, hey, I love what you're doing. You mind if I send you a package and maybe you promote for us? I'm like, I mean, you see what I'm doing? I'm liking what I'm using. No. If I want to use your crap, I'm going to use it. You don't have to give it to me for free. I will use it, and then I'll tell people if I like it or not.
That's it.
What you might not like is when I use it, I'm going to say, nope, my Parks planers were way better. Nope, my Carolina Lake weights destroyed those freaking things.
That's it. Just like John says, less is more sometimes. That's true, man. I want to have fun.
Do things my way, whatever I think is fun. I like to promote through my fishing.
That's
okay.
It.
I do like to make cool artwork because I'm an artistic dude, and it gives me some type of whenever I have some type of motivation, I'll make what I think is cool, and I do it because it's fun for me. I like to do it, so I'll make a decal for Jamie or for Mad Cats or SmackDown or whoever. And sometimes they like them and use them, and sometimes they don't, and that's fine too. But it gives me an outlet, a creative outlet. So that's why I do those. It's not, I don't get anything out of it. It's just, I think it's fun and cool. And it gets made into a t-shirt or a decal. I think that's awesome.
Well, speaking of that, Chris, we got a little surprise, brother. Rebecca has went to work and made some things happen for us. And I'm going to introduce the brand new Slime Show decal right here. So
looking good, man. That's the Gen 1.
This is the Gen 1. So this is where we're going to start. But not only that.
I love it. I need to get one.
Here's one, Chris, right here for you, brother. And you might recognize this one.
That's the one I just did. Man, y'all are fast.
So, guys, yes, y'all can now get your
got stumps. Just send it. We got you covered.
That's it. So now we got your decal covered right here. So, guys, these are going to be on the website, guys. If you want,
I like them, man. I love them.
That was a perfect opportunity. Chris hasn't even seen this one right here yet, but there you go, guys. So, guys.
That's the new one that I've made for the show. So
yep,
we're gonna have to get that one made. I want to get that one put on some shirts, some jersey type shirts.
We got all kinds of cool things that's coming, brother.
The new CLW logo on the chest and the Slime Show Catfishing, the circular one on the back.
You never know.
in that dark color shirt you got on right there.
Yeah.
I think that would be freaking sick.
Yep. We got all kinds of cool things that we're working on, guys. So y'all stand by, but she snuck in here a while ago, and I said, yeah, Chris is going to love that. So we got that one right there too, guys. And the Slime Show decals that y'all been asking for. So you can also now get these. They'll be up and on the site tomorrow, I believe. So appreciate all the love and support. And speaking of that, Chris, I know we talked a little bit about CatCon and stuff. I want to once again say thank you so much for everybody that come up and talk to us about the Slime Show, how much it means to them, how much they've learned from this show.
I was blown away at how many guys were wearing hats.
Oh, man.
How many guys came up and said, hey, man, I watched the show while I'm at work. I don't watch it live, but I watch it after and I watch it while I'm at work. I'm like, a lot of guys said, man, my fishing has just exploded this year listening to the Slime Show and trying new tactics and stuff from the guests you've had or from something that you and Jamie talked about. So I think that's cool. And really, we can't do it without because our chat guides a lot of where the show goes. Yeah. So it's the questions and the interaction that guys have with me and Jamie and with our guests. That's really the coolest part of it. It's getting to come on here and talk fishing with all of our hardcore fishing freak friends every week.
That's it. And I can tell you the show, man, we've got a lot of cool things ahead that's coming up. I'm excited about the next few weeks for the show. So, I mean, man, it's gonna get good around here, y'all.
John Young says he'll take free crap but won't promote it unless he likes it. And I'm the same way. Yeah. John, I got boxes and boxes full of crap that guys have sent me. A lot of it I can look at and tell it's just not for me. I got tons of different hooks from probably 5 different hook companies that are like, can you use these and tell me what you think? And I've got rigs that guys have given me and are like, can you try this rig and tell me what you think? Or, I've got drift weights that guys gave me and said, tell me what you think. And I'll use them and give them an honest opinion, but I know what I like. The reason I'm using the stuff that I use is because it's what I like. So typically giving me a river hook, not going to work. And some of these products, they're very similar to other products, but it's the people that are behind the products is what makes a lot of the difference for me. It's how they've treated me and my son. When my son sees some of these guys, he runs up and gives them a hug. Now, to me, that's the best litmus test right there that you can have is if my son's running up to you and giving you a big hug, you're all right with me because he's not that type of kid. So Jamie, Rebecca, he runs up and hugs. He runs up and hugs Kevin Parks, runs up and hugs Matt Knight. All those guys all these guys have treated my son like their own son enough where they actually love him now, and he loves them back. So that goes beyond the brand to me. It's the love and mutual respect beyond just the product.
Yeah. And that's just like our youth anglers, man. We put them number one. love our youth anglers, and watching them grow through the years. Chris, we were talking the other day, how Jackson has grown up in front of our eyes year after year, seeing him at CatCon, Flathead Luke. I mean, all JT, all of our
grow up.
Yeah.
I see my son in pictures. I'm like, damn, he's just getting so big. It's crazy how fast he's growing, man. He's 9, so it's just happening so fast. And now he's like starting to like girls. It's like,
oh man.
Really heavy into sports. It's crazy. So,
David, we're glad you're here for sure. We've got a lot of cool stuff that we've done in the past in the archives. Y'all guys were just talking about it. A lot for our bank fishermen, for our boat fishermen.
Yeah. We have a lot of guys that are really awesome bank anglers that come in here into our chat that help steer this. So it's not all boat stuff. We've had a King of the Banks episode, which I tried to get all the best bank anglers that I really knew at the time, guys that are just constantly out hammering giant fish. I thought that was a great episode. We've all bank fished. Most of us started out on the bank. And even if you don't do it anymore, I mean, there's something cool about being able to go catch good fish from the bank.
We all remember. I remember it when I was a kid. I used to do it all the time. I loved it. Some of my best days, man, come from bank fishing and stuff. Loved it. Having a fire. Just relaxing, cooking a little something right there. But yeah, we've got a lot of cool stuff. We hear a lot of people say they go back in our Slime Show archives and watch a lot of the shows, how much they've learned. And I'm gonna tell you guys we're gonna get in some cool stuff this year for sure.
Yeah, so we're gonna keep doing it how we've been doing it for the most part. We're gonna try to do seasonal stuff as it's coming up. We're also going to keep mixing in these really good anglers. We've got Cats on the Rock Guide Service next week. I think the week after that, we've got Colton Howell from Multibar. He's pretty much changed the dragging game for a lot of us. After that, we're going to get who do we got after that, Jamie?
I think you got Tyler
Barnes.
Tyler
Barnes. He's the North Carolina flathead record holder. We've had a lot of state record holders on the show. And one thing is our guests never hold back. When guys are asking questions, they are an open book for whatever you guys want to ask. So after that, we'll probably get Tim Scott, Epic Catfishing, the flathead professor. We'll probably get him on after that, or maybe mixed in somewhere in between. But
that's definitely going to be one heck of a show for sure, like always.
Yeah, I love him. He's a catfishing fanatic.
We have a lot of good times with him, that's for sure. But yeah, we got a lot of great people coming, man. That's a heck of a startup lineup, of people that we've got coming, and man, we appreciate all.
Yeah, I don't know where we're gonna go from here. We've had some of the best anglers in the world on the show.
Yeah,
a lot of the top company owners in the industry. Now there's some others we can still probably get. I've been trying to get Kevin Parks on here for 2 years, and Kevin's like, I'm like, man, I'm gonna catch you after you've had a couple of whiskeys one of these nights. I'm gonna get you locked in. Oh man,
we're working hard. I know we're definitely me and Chris talks all the time. We're definitely working hard to try to put some great shows together for y'all guys. So there's a lot of great things happening here at the Slime Show for sure, and so I'm looking forward to it, brother.
I am too. It's gonna be a fun ride. We're gonna keep rolling. It looks like the show's been growing consistently. It'll never be a big show because we don't really target the I don't know what you would call it. it's kind of we're a niche crowd.
Yeah.
This is about a little more the intricacies of catfishing, the higher level stuff. It's most of you guys been fishing for a long time, and maybe are just trying to learn a few things here and there from guys. So,
and what I love to hear too, Chris, is a lot of our just starting, people just getting into it, how much they've told us they've learned, how much it's helped their growing as a catfisherman, and where they're at today. We hear a lot of testimonies that people call us or text us, or just talk to us when they see us about, man, this is where I've started, but this is where I'm at. So we appreciate all them kind words too, fellas, and that's why we do what we do.
Bill said he thought he might need some more weights by now, but he can't lose the damn things.
That's the only bad thing about our stuff.
I told you, Bill. I told you, man. So Bill was making those Larry Muse style. I said, man, try some of these out. I bet you're gonna love these, because I ran those Larry Muse style ones for a long time too. They get hung up, and they're not easy to make, and they're expensive too. So, Carolina lightweights, they're dialed in, bro. Get some pros to catch through the ice, says John Young. I'll look for some, John. I don't really know if I know any guy. I can ask some buddies that fish up there if they
and John, if you know of anyone, we would definitely love to talk to them. I imagine should
be thawing out pretty soon, though.
Yeah. I imagine that's a lot of fun catching big catfish through ice. Holy crap. That would definitely be a different game for sure. Let's see here if I've missed anything. Looks like we're pretty caught up on all the questions. Let's see. We don't have blues in Iowa. Probably got a lot of the channel cats in that area for sure.
I thought y'all had blue cats in Iowa.
I thought they had some too, but I don't. I have to look into that myself.
Well,
catching cats and sturgeons through the ice is the bomb. Yeah, I bet it is. Holy crap. I would definitely love to try that one day.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. Seems like you better know where your good spot is, because I mean, do they pile into the deep hole in the fishery like a lot of other fish do?
I would love to try it one day. I know that.
John says he got a blue in Dubuque, Iowa. Yeah, I thought they had certain times a year they run up there. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know a lot about that area.
My dog's going nuts. I don't know what he's barking at out there. All right, Jamie, anything else you want to promote before we get out of here?
Man, I also want to let a lot of people know we have added, we've got all kinds, added a lot of the 5s, the 6s, the 8s, and the 10s back to the site. I know a lot of you been adding or asking. And we also have now the 6 and 8s, as Chris, you call them, look like hot dog wieners in the pencil weights. A lot of y'all. So we have those also, guys.
Pencil weights. I said they look like For me.
And I believe Mama or Rebecca said it must be close to lunchtime. And hopefully soon we will have the 5s also, guys. I'm working very hard on that stuff. So, but yeah, we've added a lot more stuff. So y'all check it out. But yeah, the new decals will definitely be on the site tomorrow. If you're interested, run over and grab you some. Some pretty cool stuff happening, that's for sure. But I want to let y'all guys know that we're working on getting those 6s, the 5s, the 6s, 8s, and 10s as fast as we can back up on the site. They are some up there now, so if you're needing some, grab them while they're there. So just want to let everybody know that. What's up, brother?
Ted, how you doing, buddy? Man, you caught us at the very end. I know you do Ted premieres his YouTube show every Wednesday night while our show goes on. So we have a conflicting schedule, but our show's long.
We're long-winded.
All right,
the time schedule?
Guys, I'm gonna need some good luck sent my way. I got Alexander Doty, the most hated man in catfishing, coming on the boat with me to fish Sunday. So I've got no preconceived notions about the dude. He's always been nice and respectful to me. I do notice some of the people he has problems with have a lot of problems with other people. So I think he's just the type of guy who's unfiltered and if you cross him, he's going to call you out in open public. So we'll see how it goes. I expect to have fun. I hope the fish cooperate. Hope we get on some giants. So maybe I'll have some big old giant slimy fish pictures of us hugging some Texoma lake monsters to show next week.
Can't wait, brother. Y'all definitely hope y'all definitely catch some PBs.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough to get PBs for this group, but if we do, it's gonna be a crazy day.
No pressure, brother. No pressure.
Then I got Rich Figuera on the show on the boat next weekend. I got him. I believe. Let's see. I don't know who all's coming. I got a boatload of dudes. I think Leland Loy's coming up with him. Another guide from Central Texas. And then another guide from South Texas is coming up to fish. So no pressure. Got to put these guides on some big fish. Guys, tight lines. God bless. Azul out.
Later, y'all.